Hi, I'm Ray, and thanks for joining me again for another session of talking about guitars and our love of playing guitars. Today I'm going to talk about playing in my first band. Wow. I was about, about 13, and I talked to you earlier about lobbying to get my first acoustic guitar. Well, I lobbied hard to get my first electric guitar, because then I could rock it out. So I managed to get an electric guitar when I was about 13. Of course, another cheap, crappy guitar with strings that high off the fretboard. And yeah, it was bad. Anyway, and a little 4-watt amp I had arrived. And by this time, I was learning a few chords and even starting to learn songs. So I ran into a guy at school. I think I was about 14 by this point, and he played guitar, and he was better than me because he knew, I think, 5 songs. Anyway, we thought, hey, we should get in a band. And at that time, we were living at Air Force Base in Trenton, Ontario. A couple of military kids, but met a couple of guys from Belleville that were, I think, a drummer and a bass player, and high school guys, So we decided, hey, let's start a band. So that required my friend and I to hitchhike from Trenton to Belleville to go to have a practice. So we did that for months, trying to nail down some tunes. I think we got probably 5 or 6 that were okay, that were acceptable, like Louie Louie and stuff like that. Really, really easy tunes. Gloria, remember Gloria? That one. So then one of the guys in the band managed to get us our first gig. It paid $25 for a junior high dance, which we promptly invested in rental equipment, like, big amps. No clue. And we had, I think, 1 microphone, and we ran that through an amplifier. Yeah, professional showbiz. Anyway, we did this gig and played those 5 or 6 songs over and over, about 4 times each. And they thought it was okay. But then from that moment, I thought, I got to get in better bands, and I got to learn how to play better, and I got to, work on this thing. So, yeah, that was my first band experience. So by the time I was 16 rolled around, my dad was in the Air Force. We got transferred to Germany. And, I was kicking and screaming getting on that plane. There's no way I wanted to go to Germany because all my friends were here and all the guys I like playing guitar with are here. And what are those guys going to know over there? Anyway, so we flew to Germany. And long and short of it is that was the best time of my life. Absolutely. And was there guys there that could play? Oh, yeah. Tons of great musicians in Germany. And quickly, of course, I was with the guys in the group, and we did that. We had various forms of bands over the course of 3 years. And but I remember the first band, we were all pretty much guitar players, and we needed a drummer. So the guy said, well, what are you going to do? I said, well, maybe I could play drums. And so one of the guys says, well, you get a set of drums, you can be the drummer. I went, okay, look what I got. So I became a self-taught drummer. And then the neat thing was, of course, during dances and stuff that we were doing, I would get up from behind the drums and play guitar, which added an element of, mystery to people watching. Oh, wow, these guys are talented. No, we weren't that good. But you know what? It was a ton of fun. I mean, those guys, we're talking decades ago, a long time ago. But most of those guys, if not all of them, and gals, they're still playing. Like me, we're still playing. Still love music. Still love guitars. It's in you. So I think once a musician, always a musician, and that'll never leave you. So keep your passion, keep playing. If you've got some stories about your first band you want to share, put them in the comments below. I'd like to share them with everybody else on the channel. Be a lot of fun. And, stay tuned for more upcoming episodes. I'll get into a little more storytelling, a little more tips and advice and that kind of thing. And we'll just have some fun. We'll make this our channel. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.